I appreciate my friend, Member of Congress, Kat Gohmert, that she's expressed so articulately what I've seen, what I've experienced so many times, been in the night on the border, going down those dirt roads along the Rio Grande. It is incredible. And some would think, oh, well, isn't it compassionate to encourage people to come to the United States? It's the most unneighborly, uncompassionate thing that we could do. These are people who, other than the gang members, those who are part of the cartels, those coming from groups in the Mideast and other places that don't have U.S. interests at heart. But so many of them, they're looking for a better way of life. Why do they not have a better way of life where they are, including especially Mexico? Well, it's because of the unsecure border we have that allows the Mexican drug cartels to make tens of billions of dollars every year coming from America for the drugs, for the fentanyl that kills, for the sex trafficking, for the human trafficking. We're funding the corruption in Mexico. I mean, my wife and I had our honeymoon. We didn't have much money at all. $300 got us a 5 nights, 6 days in a fabulous place in Mexico. But we don't go back because the drug cartels no longer say hands off of the tourism. Mexico is being devastated by the drug cartels. And it's America and administrations like this that are allowing them, actually making it possible, not just allowing, making it possible. Some might say they're truly accessories to the corruption, to the criminality that is going on. And in fact, evidence of that comes from the fact that as Border Patrol have told me before this administration, when they used to talk to me and never, ever tried to prevent me from getting to the border and seeing exactly what's going on. That's all changed now. This administration did not allow me 2 nights in a row trying to get to the border, as I've done countless times before. Wouldn't let me get there. And in fact, used the place where normally you get down from the embankment, go through the wall that's been constructed by the Trump administration, go down through the flat area, and then you come up to the levee road, and then that allows you to get miles and miles down the dirt roads along the Rio Grande where thousands of people are coming across. And they didn't allow it this time. They used the wall not to keep out illegal aliens, but to keep me from seeing the outrageous travesties and tragedies that are going along our border because people are being lured to their detriment. In tort law, it'd be called an attractive nuisance, like having a swimming pool and having no fence so that a child is drawn in and then drowns. Well, this administration is luring people to their detriment. So many, and I've been there many nights, it's not on the list of questions that's required to be asked, but so often the Border Patrol asks, how much do you pay, basically the drug cartels, to bring you into the United States? And it was usually between $5,000 and $8,000. And then often they would say, you don't have that kind of money. Where'd you get that money? And they'd indicate here and there, getting this much there, friends in the U.S. sent this much. So what about the rest of the money? The drug cartels, they're going to let them work it off when they get where they're going. How do they get where they're going? Well, at that point, it's either Health and Human Services or ICE or Border Patrol. Their job is along the border. They don't, once they transport to a facility, that's usually the end of their transporting. But ICE, Health and Human Services, and now we have the military that's also providing transportation. But as the Border Patrol said, the cartels call us here in the U.S., federal government, their logistics. They get them across the border, and then they don't use UPS or FedEx or even the U.S. Post Office. They use the federal government and taxpayer money to ship these indentured servants of the drug cartels all over the country, to cities all over the country, wherever the drug cartels want them to be selling drugs, sex trafficking, human trafficking. The U.S. government actually makes that happen. They facilitate that. We've had so many Border Patrol, again, before this last visit to the border, when this administration wants to hide what they're doing at the border. They say, oh, well, if you give us enough notice, then we will put somebody, and this is effectively what they want, to put somebody I'm supposed to supervise over me to watch what I'm doing, prevent me from doing proper oversight down where I'm supposed to, where they're supposed to be doing their job. Prevent that from happening so that America does not see how absolutely tragic this invasion is. Yes, they're gang members, but so many are people coming in, and the cartels know. Taxpayers in the U.S. who are funding the drug cartels are also going to pay for the education, all the needs of those coming in. This administration doesn't care. What they're looking at is future Democratic voters. But they've got to act quick, because the longer people are here, the more they realize, you know what? If I'm for hard work and I am for making my own way and I don't want to see babies killed in the womb, I believe in working a full day. I do believe in marriage and a strong family, devotion to family, and believe in God. They start thinking, wait a minute, that sounds more like a Republican than a Democrat, because they don't believe in abortion, most of the folks, and they do have a faith in God, devotion to families. And if you read, or if you read what BLM said they believed in, destruction of what they call the Western-style marriage is one of their biggest tenets. Why? Because they're Marxists. And to get to Marxism, you have to create chaos. And as Paul Harvey used to talk about, one of the best ways, and a critically important way, to create enough chaos so that you can move toward Marxism is to destroy the family, the nuclear family. And of course, BLM has it wrong. It's not Western-style marriage. It's not something that North America or South America or Central America came up with, what's typically called the West. It didn't come from this side of the planet or this hemisphere, except in the Middle East. And a man named Moses had a revelation from God and let people know, here's what God says. A man shall leave his father and mother, a woman leave her home, and the two will become one. That would be marriage. Not Western style, I guess Middle Eastern style. Didn't originate here, and it's been found throughout history to be the best building block of a very strong society. And that's why surveys continue to find that although, of course, there are people that excel coming from broken homes and other avenues, the best chance a child has of succeeding in life is coming from a two-parent home and a strong nuclear family. I've seen firsthand what Marxism does. I've heard the director of what we would now call daycare in the old Soviet Union bragging that these children don't belong to their parents. They're just temporary caretakers. We monitor what parents tell their children. If they ever say anything negative about the government, we immediately take the child away and give them to a more deserving caretakers. I thought at the time, thank God I didn't grow up in the Soviet Union. Thank God I grew up in East Texas, and I had a mother and father, and they cared deeply about me. And I was so grateful for blessings that I had had. And wow, the Soviet Union. It failed because it was destined to fail. Marxism is always going to fail. And people think, oh, but it sounds so wonderful, share and share alike. No, you have a very small ruling class, and then you have everybody else. And I've been in those stores. And toilet paper, so often, no, it was not available. But I learned and I saw if things, really luxuries like real toilet paper, store would get those in, and they would put those in the back. And if you were a government official, then when you came in, they would get you some toilet paper. If it's a shoe store, they got good shoes in, they kept those in the back for government officials. Why? Because they were sucking up to the government officials. In Russian, it was called blat, a political pull. And you wanted to have some, so you kept the best of whatever you got in to sell. You kept that for people that had power, so you would do favors for them so that you might have a little power. And as one Soviet told me, college student, in your country, you can get ahead no matter who you are. You can get ahead by hard work, making more money, and then money will help you make your way up in society. Here, there's only really two ways to move up in society. One is to suck up to people who have political power, and I guess maybe it's a subheading of that, but that's also ratting out other people. And as he told me, you can get ahead by working harder, making more money. Here, the best way to move up is to step on other people. If you see them do something inappropriate, then you rat them out, and that will allow you to move up. Because, except for the very top people that have everything they want, other people, they mostly get the same amount of income. That was also tried in Venezuela. It failed. It will always fail. And anybody that was so stupid that they could not foresee what was emerging, and that is a very strong, powerful middle class in the United States, part of Europe, Marx couldn't see that coming.